Now that I've finished the game, I'm more interested in the fashion of wearing cool outfits than worrying about my resistances. I just want to look cool for Malena, man. Don't judge me. But if you're looking for the best armor in Elden Ring, here is a full list. Let's go. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite armor set is. I've broken this list up into different sections based on the different types of armor and their weights. So from light, medium, and heavy. And we're also going to talk about Mage and Faith armors as well. So there is plenty of a good variety of armor in this video, as well as just in the game as a whole. Armor is all over the place, and there is plenty of really good armor everywhere. And you could definitely justify different armors than the ones that I have picked on this list. So if you do have different opinions, make sure you put them in the comments. So first we'll start off with the best light armor. And this is armor that weighs like under 25-ish is what I'm going to say around that part. And we're going to stick with the Black Knife set for this piece. Now, the Black Knife set has decent resistances for being such a light armor. It's mostly focused on physical compared to magical resistances, and it does have some decent immunity and robustness to it as well. Now, the benefit here ultimately for this piece of armor is really the chest piece. Now, the chest armor has like an invisible cape, and when you have that cape on, it will increase your stealth benefits as well. So if you're looking to make some kind of a stealthy light armor character, maybe dual wielding knives or something like that, then this is the perfect armor for you. It is worth noting that if you take off the cape on the chest piece, like you alter the armor, you will lose the stealth benefits that it does give you, so just be mindful of that. But the Black Knife set looks great. It also functions really well as a nice light armor to wear. If you don't have a whole lot of endurance and you can't wear some of the heavier armors, this is a great set for like a stealthy assassin kind of character if you're putting something together like that. The full set is found on a corpse at the Ortina liturgical town in the consecrated ground, so it will take you a little while to get this armor pretty far in the game, and so is this next light armor that I thought was worth mentioning here, and that is Malena's set. Now, Malena's set comes from Malena, as you may expect, and it is pretty similar to the Black Knife set. Ultimately, it gives you a little bit more physical resistance and a little bit more of the other resistances in the immunity categories, but realistically, this is another great light armor set, and I just thought it was worth calling out this as well, because if you aren't really going for the stealth benefits that you get from the Black Knife, then another light armor you'd probably go with is Malena's set. Let's talk about the medium armor, the best medium armor in the game, and I'm categorizing this as under the 40-ish weight mark, and we're going to go with the Crucible Axe and Crucible Tree sets here. Now, both of these sets, it doesn't really matter which one specifically, but both of these sets have great damage negation and really high resistances. They weigh exactly the same, just some of their stats are slightly different, like the tree gives you a little bit more physical resistance versus slash, so that they're not exactly the same, but they're almost identical. And for the most part, you could really just pick either of these, and I wore one of these sets through a fair chunk of my just straight gameplay when I started the game. They are just a great all-around set. They give you really high damage negation, even a decent amount of magic and fire, lightning, and holy resistances, while also having good immunity and robustness and decent amount of poise for a set like this. And one of the extra benefits of both of these sets is that they will also increase the aspect of the Crucible incantations. So if you are using them, then you will get damage bonuses by using or wearing the Crucible armor pieces, so you can increase your damage with them. But the aspect of the Crucible incantations aren't the best anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. But the other benefits of this armor really outweigh the benefits of just increasing your aspect of the Crucible incantations. It's just worth calling out. This armor is great for any kind of melee build that maybe you're not going to that full like colossal heavy weight where you will be taking a decent amount of damage, but you don't have enough endurance to wear some of the really heavy armor in the game yet, and you can really get away with using this set and taking some damage in the melee range in the long run. The Crucible Tree set comes from the Deeproot Deaths behind the Crucible Knight boss at the end of the Deeproot Deaths, and the Crucible Axe set comes from the Crucible Knight boss in the Orisa Hero's Grave, so you can get both of these around that kind of same point of the game. It doesn't really matter which one you wear, you can mix and match them. It really is about the aesthetic, but for the most part, they offer basically the same resistances. The best heavy armor in the game, or just the best armor in the game in general in terms of resistances, is the Bull Goat set. This armor is very, very heavy, but it is the highest poise and physical defense set in the entire game, and the heaviest, so that's kind of the trade-off there. Now, this set set will give you tons of poise, so if you're using some kind of colossal weapon or massive weapon, you can basically just swing for days. As long as you're not getting hit with heavy attacks, you can swing through most light attacks and just keep that pressure on. And that's really why you would wear this set, so you do take a bit of damage or a fair chunk of damage, you're going to have heaps of health and just keep swinging through most of the attacks that are going to come towards you, and you will have a massive amount of physical resistances, and for the most part your just general immunity, robustness, focus, vitality are also very high, and the magic resistances are pretty good as well. And it's a great set to wear if you do have the endurance to wear it, but for the most part, if you're wearing this armor before kind of the later stages of the game, you're probably going to be heavy rolling unless you've got the Erdtree's Favor and the other talismans that increase your equip load, so you can avoid that. Now this set comes from the Volcano Mana quest line, and once Patches moves over there, he'll give you one of the quests that will kill the Great Horn Tragoth, and when you kill him, you will get his armor, which is this Bull Goat set. You've probably seen the Great Horn Tragoth because you can summon him for some boss fights, but you do have to kill him, unfortunately, via Patches quest in the Volcano Mana in order to get his armor, and it's well worth doing if you are a colossal weapon user and you want one of those big, beefy, heavy armor sets. Next is the best mage armor, and we're going to go through two here because I think there's benefits to both. The first is the Spellblade set, and this armor is perfect for any kind of Spellblade set. I mean, that makes sense as that's why you would use it, but essentially what this armor does is it doesn't have the greatest resistances as a whole, but the real benefit for this set is that it increases the Glintstone sorcery's effects, is what it says. But essentially what that means is that any Ash of War that does magic damage, it will increase its overall damage, and based on my testing, it's any. So, you know, the Moonveil swords, magic attacks, or any of the magic Ash of Wars, it will increase their damage by a percentage, and it does seem to be about 2% per piece. This doesn't translate to just your general spells of any kind, it's just the Ash of Wars that you can use on any of the weapons, but it's well worth wearing if you are using a magic Ash of War. This set combos perfectly because of the extra damage increase you get. It just has very low resistances, so you just need to be mindful of that. Now this comes from the Sorcerer Roger at the Round Table Hold. At a certain point in his quest line, you will be able to obtain his armor, so just keep checking back with him at the Round Table Hold and eventually he will give it to you. The other mage set is the Queen of the Full Moon set, mostly for the headpiece, as the headpiece increases your intelligence by 3. The rest of the set is pretty solid. It gives you a little bit more resistances than the Spellblade set, weighs a little bit more, but realistically it weighs like 11, so it doesn't really matter that much. In order to get this set, you will have to beat Renala, which is one of the early bosses in the game, and then go purchase it from Enya at the Round Table Hold. Realistically, you're only going to want to wear the headpiece for this. I mean, for the most part in my intelligence playthrough, I wore the headpiece and then whatever the best damage negation armor I could wear otherwise, because the rest of the pieces, they may look nice, but they don't give you much in terms of resistances, and you don't get any extra intelligence for wearing them. It's solely the headpiece. The best faith armor is the last on our list, the lucky last, and that is the Haligtree Knight set. The Haligtree Knight set's a pretty medium to heavy set, and it does come in around just that under the 30 mark, but the main purpose of this is, again, the headpiece. The headpiece will increase your faith. The benefits with this set compared to the magic ones, however, is that it actually gives you a decent amount of damage negation and resistances as well, so it's not just about wearing the headpiece, though you could just wear the headpiece and then combo it with like the Crucible Axe set or something like that if you can wear the slightly heavier armor. But this is a great set that it does take a little while to get. You can only get it at like the very end of the game. The Haligtree Knight Helm comes from a corpse near the Ephelisle Inner Wall set in the Haligtree area. You do have to drop down a ladder here in order to get it near the Grey Site, and the remaining pieces you will have to farm from the Haligtree Knights in the Haligtree area. Now there is a couple of knights near one of the Grey Sites that you can just keep farming in order to get this set, but realistically once you get the set, you will look fresh and you'll all be matching and perfect, which is the main purpose of why we play Elden Ring and Soulsgate, is to all be matching and look fresh as hell. But that is the best armor sets in the game. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite sets are, if you would change any on this list, or if you have any other opinions. I would absolutely love to hear them. Thank you for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is Norza, and I hope you have a great day.